You can enhance your motivation and acquire the discipline necessary for hard work if you learn to derive pleasure from the effort that is required to complete a task. Hard labor can be a scary chore for many people, and as a result, they frequently avoid doing it. Individuals, on the other hand, may experience a sense of obligation to exert the necessary effort, whether they are working for a monetary objective, a career aim, or a social purpose. Learning to derive pleasure from exertion has a wide range of advantages, not limited to the motivational aspect alone. You will be able to improve your ability to take on demanding jobs and accomplish your goals if you cultivate the discipline to work hard. This can be especially helpful in situations where there are no immediate external rewards, such as while working on long-term projects, losing weight, getting in shape, or making attempts to improve one's personal circumstances. Exemplifications and experiments. An experiment that is considered to be a classic was conducted at Stanford University many years ago. In this experiment, children in kindergarten and nursery school sketched pictures. Following that, the children were assigned to one of the following conditions based on a random selection: the reward that is anticipated. In this scenario, it was communicated to the students that if they participated, they would be awarded a certificate that featured a ribbon and a gold seal. The reward is a surprise. Under these circumstances, children would be awarded the same prize as described above. However, they would not be informed of this distinction until after the drawing activity had been completed. There is no prize. In this condition, children did not receive any reward, and they did not anticipate receiving any. It was decided that once each child had drawn for a period of 6 minutes in a separate room, they would either be given their prize or they would not be given it, depending on the circumstances. Following that, the children were observed through one-way mirrors throughout the course of the subsequent few days in order to determine the extent to which they would continue sketching on their own. Despite the fact that the children's spontaneous interest in drawing had diminished as a result of the anticipated incentive, there was no statistically significant difference between the group that did not receive a reward and the group that received a surprise reward. The individuals who had previously enjoyed drawing and had a high level of intrinsic motivation experienced a decrease in their level of motivation once they anticipated receiving a reward for the activity. The anticipated reward cut the children's spontaneous drawing in half, resulting in a 50% decrease. In addition, the judges commented that the pictures that the youngsters created while anticipating a prize were not as artistically beautiful. In addition to highlighting the benefits of intrinsic motivation, the study also highlights the potential drawbacks of extrinsic motivation. In order to encourage the children to sketch, the researchers began doling out rewards such as gold stars. On the other hand, after they stopped awarding the gold star, the children showed a greater propensity to not want to draw on their own. This was an activity that the children made a conscious decision to participate in since they had previously learned to love it on their own. A connection can be made between this and the idea of intrinsic as extrinsic reinforcement. The behavior that prompted the prize is associated with reduced pleasure when we obtain rewards, even if we give ourselves prizes for something. This is true even if we give ourselves rewards. Despite the fact that this does not imply that all rewards are negative, it is crucial to comprehend that dopamine is the driving force behind our urge to take action. What is the power of dopamine? Our perceptual experience of time is governed by dopamine. We lengthen the amount of time we spend analyzing or perceiving an experience when we participate in an activity, such as exerting ourselves physically or working hard, because we anticipate receiving a reward at the conclusion of the activity. Due to the fact that the external reward is received after the conclusion of the action, we begin to dissociate the brain circuits that are responsible for dopamine and the reward that would have been active during the activity. As a consequence of this, the enjoyment that we derive from that particular activity decreases as we continue to engage in it. On the other hand, a development mentality, which is the idea of constantly working to improve oneself, is the antithesis of this. To adopt a growth mindset. The development of a growth mindset leads to remarkable improvements in performance. Due to the fact that they are focused on the effort itself, individuals who have a growth mentality perform exceptionally well. By gaining the ability to access the rewards that come from effort and doing, every one of us has the ability to create growth mindsets. It is necessary to have the ability to access the rewards of effort and action in order to cultivate a growth mindset. Due to the fact that it demands activating the prefrontal component of the mesolimbic circuit in your brain, this can actually be quite difficult. You have to be able to convince yourself that the effort you are putting in is pleasurable and delightful, even if you are experiencing bodily discomfort while you are studying or working out. The most advantageous item that can act as a motivational amplifier on all endeavors, especially tough ones, not to begin layering in other sources of dopamine to get started, but rather to subjectively tie the sense of friction and effort to an internally created reward system. This is the most effective way to boost motivation. This system has been around for hundreds of thousands of years and can be found in the human mind. It is not simply the pursuit of things that are inherently pleasurable, such as food, sex, warmth, or water. Rather, it is the acquisition of pleasure via the application of effort. Learn how to develop a growth mindset. Every one of us is able to take use of this strategy. It is necessary for you to begin reminding yourself that the discomfort you are experiencing right now will eventually result in an increase in the amount of dopamine that is released. In addition to this, you need to demonstrate to yourself that you are doing it voluntarily and because you enjoy it. However, this is not the same as thinking on the reward that will be received at the conclusion. When you do this, you can establish a connection between the release of dopamine and friction and effort. When faced with problems, it is important to view them as chances for personal development and growth. Believe in your capacity to learn. Have faith that you are capable of acquiring new knowledge and developing your skills, regardless of the amount of expertise you now possess. Concentrate on the procedure. Put more of an emphasis on learning and development than you do on the final product. Take the opportunity to learn and grow from your mistakes by viewing them as learning experiences. Put an emphasis on effort. Put an emphasis on the significance of effort rather than intrinsic talent or ability. It is important to be receptive to feedback and criticism, and to make use of it in order to improve. Take an interest in learning. Take an interest in the process of learning and look for new experiences and challenges. Assist and encourage others in their endeavors to learn and develop. Encourage and assist others in their efforts. Celebrate your progress. Instead of focusing just on the end results, celebrate the tiny victories along the way as well as the gradual advancement toward your goals. Keep a positive attitude. Even when confronted with challenges or failures, it is important to keep a growth mindset and a positive attitude. It is one of the most powerful and important aspects of dopamine in human biology that we are able to derive pleasure from the effort aspect of our dopaminergic circuitry. It is possible for us to feel an increase in energy and focus when we learn to spike our dopamine levels from the effort itself. This can assist us in remaining motivated and involved in the task that we are conducting. While it is important to highlight that we should not boost our dopamine levels before or after engaging in the endeavor, it is also important to understand that doing so can hinder the whole process of gaining pleasure from the procedures. When we simply concentrate on the reward that comes after the effort, we tend to identify the reward with the activity itself rather than the action that we put in. The use of an extrinsic reward system has the potential to make the activity less pleasurable and less productive over the course of time. We can cultivate a growth mindset and become more motivated to take on tough things if we learn to access the joy that comes from the work that we put forth and learn to focus on the effort itself. Because of this, we are not exclusively dependent on the benefits that come from the outside world to motivate us to work hard, which can help us prevent burnout and keep our motivation levels high. Increases in dopamine levels as a result of exertion are, in general, an effective method for developing a growth mindset and accomplishing our objectives. The ability to create stronger resilience, motivation, and a deeper sense of satisfaction in our successes can be achieved by learning to find pleasure in activity and by learning to embrace the effort that is required. Subscribe to our channel now for more amazing videos like this. Do like, comment, and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.